So guys, now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible, guys? Now please confirm to me. Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Right, sir. And observe carefully. Any of you are newly joined for this class today? Now take screenshot of it. Especially the link here we have to take. So https:// tinyurl.com/core java 6 that here we have to take. Okay. So this link will provide the daily classroom notes. Whatever the notes I am typing inside the class, that you are able to get through this link only. And regarding my classes, if you want to get any information, any data about my classes, just this is a single point of contact. Contact person is Hemant, and this is the mobile number and WhatsApp number, of course, both. Okay. So take this number, and this is a contact person. At any time you can call him. You can get the details about my classes. Okay, right. And apart from this, in the last session, I think on Friday I have taken one session. This is the second session. So today onwards, directly I'm going to start our syllabus actually. But before that, what I have completed in the last session, if we just full stack Java, what content here I'm going to be covered. If we come for this, here we are able to see Core Java, Advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring Boot, Microservices, Oracle UI Technologies, Angular, React.js. And Core Java, the syllabus, total syllabus I given some explanation, just an overview I've given. Of course, we can check the same thing in the recording also. Alright. In Core Java, what topics are available? What content here I'm going to cover? That all the points here I'm going to provide to you so that you can understand it clearly. So up to the latest version, we are going to have discussion here. Now understand it clearly. Right from core Java, right from introduction part. Introduction, steps to prepare Java applications, language fundamentals, pattern programming, OOPs, wrapper classes, inner classes, packages, string operations, exception handling, multi-threading, IO streams. So of course, this networking and RMI are two outdated topics. Not just I'm able to give video support for these two concepts. Collection framework, generics, internationalization, reflection API, annotations, JVM architecture, and garbage collections, regular expressions, Java 8 version feature, Java 9, and Java 10 to 24 version features. As a separate topic, I'm going to discuss that. But I think one more thing here we have to remember. Here itself we have to start with what their arrays topic. I forgot it actually. Arrays. Before the collection framework, I'm going to start this arrays topic. Okay. Okay. So every class is being recorded. The recorded videos will be provided to you more than 1 year of time. More than 1 year of time, we are able to get the classes recordings. Yeah, classroom notes will be provided. Whatever the classroom notes now I'm typing it, that everything will be provided to you. So time is what there 6 to 7 actually original time, but in future I will conduct our classes even at 7 to 8 also. 7 to 8 o'clock also I'm going to take our classes. Monday to Saturday class are going to be happen, but Monday to Saturday class are going to be happen, no doubt for it. On Sundays now, if it is required, if our syllabus is not in a right track, if we are in a bit lagging, definitely I'm able to take some extra sessions on Sundays also, but not immediately. After a few days of time, if it is required, then I will take the class. No, but maximum Monday to Saturday we are going to have classes. Right. Now this is the content. This is the explanation what I have given in the last class there. That means it was happened on Friday. Right. Now today we are going to start introduction part here in a core Java J2SE part introduction. Now inside this introduction, I'm going to take the points like what there differences between Java and others. Here others in the sense like what there C and C plus plus. Differences between Java and others. Here others is what there C and C plus plus. Okay. After that, next one is what there Java features. Java features. After these Java features, Java naming conventions. After the Java naming conventions, Java programming format. Java programming format. So these are all the topics which I am going to discuss with you clearly. Differences between Java and others, Java features, Java naming conventions, Java programming format. Clear. It's okay. After this, after understanding these concepts here, after getting clarity on these points, no. So now, first I'm going to discuss with you. The very first one is what there differences between Java and others. Inside these, the very first one here I'm going to discuss with you clearly. Guys, observe carefully here. I'm going to discuss nearly nine number of points. That nine number of points are going to give clarity what is Java and how it is different from C and C++. Very good clarity we are able to get, but only the thing is what that we have to put more concentration. Some internals I'm going to discuss there. While discussing the differences between Java and others, some Java internals I'm going to discuss. So without failure, now try to understand the content clearly. Alright, so now differences between Java and others. The first one, the very first one is what there. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. That's a C and C++ are what they're static programming languages, but Java is like what they're a dynamic programming language. So this is the difference here. The very first difference here we are going to understand it clearly. Right, and observe carefully. C and C++ are what they're static programming languages, but Java is what they're a dynamic programming language. Before going to understand whether C, C++ are static programming languages or not, Java is a dynamic programming language or not. Before that, first of all, first of all, understand what is static programming language and what is dynamic programming language. When a programming language is a static programming language, when a programming language is a dynamic programming language, that here we have to understand. After that, you are going to understand how C, C++ are static programming languages and how Java is a dynamic programming language. Right. Now, this is the clarity here I'm telling you. First, let us understand it clearly. All right, sir. Now, I want to take this discussion through a diagram. Now, understand this diagram here, all of you. Observe carefully. Everybody, put concentration on this diagram. I'm going to cover some basics, some fundamentals also. Those who are already aware about the Java, have patience and now try to understand it. Why? Because definitely some internals I'm going to discuss there. Now, try to put more concentration here. All right, good. First of all, I'm going to ask one question to all of you guys. Now try to observe carefully. For example, I have written C program, sir. C program here I have written. Clear. When I write a C program, what should be the file extension actually? The C file extension should be what? The C program might be written in a file with the extension .c. Am I right, guys? .c is a file extension. Clear. Here I have written C program. This is a code, some code, whatever it may be. For what purpose you have written that code has also been not required for me. Now this is a C program. Good. Huh. When we write this C program, definitely we have to execute this program or not. Definitely here we have to execute this program or not. Guys, everybody, put concentration here. We have to execute this C program. See, for what purpose you are writing the program? To execute the program in order to get some results, in order to get some outputs. For that purpose, we have to execute the program. For that purpose, we have to write the C program. So now this is like what I am telling there, execution process. Execution. Here we are going to execute this program. Guys, now I'm asking this question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Okay, we are going to execute the program. But who is going to execute the program? We have written C program here, that we understood. But who is going to execute the C program? Definitely somebody else has to take the responsibility of executing our program or not. Then who is executing our C program? That here we have to understand. So further purpose I am telling to you clearly, now observe carefully. C engine. There is a mission to execute our program. That mission is what there? C engine. Please all of you remember carefully. C programs are executed by C engine. Nice. C++ programs are executed by C++ engine. A separate engine to execute C programs, C engine. A separate engine to execute C++ programs, C++ engine. Similarly, to execute Python programs, there is a separate engine, there is a separate mission. That mission is what there? Python engine, Python engine. That Python engine is also be called, the Python engine is also be called PVM. Python engine is also be called what there? PVM, Python virtual mission. PVM, Python virtual mission. Python engine is also be called what? Python virtual mission. So it will execute our Python applications. Similarly, to execute Java applications, a separate mission, a separate engine is required. That engine in general is called Java engine. That engine is called what? The Java engine. The Java engine is also be called as what? JVM. The Java engine is also be called what there? JVM. Java Virtual Machine. JVM is what there? Java Virtual Machine. Guys, now simple in the questions box, just give answer for my question in the questions box. What is JVM? Please all of you respond for me. So what is JVM? Please respond to me in the questions box. Everybody has to give response for me. What is JVM? Come on guys, you have questions box with you. Now try to respond for me. What is JVM? Yes, Nitish Shetty, right? Come on guys, everybody has to give that one. JVM. What is it? Yes, Charan, right? Sanika, right? Right. Java Virtual Machine. Ravi. Java Virtual Machine. Perfect, guys. Java Virtual Machine. Right. What it does, it is able to execute Java programs. It is able to run Java programs. That's okay, good. Nice. Guys, now JVM, it's okay, fine. Now observe carefully, all of you know. So this is a C program. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. It helps in execution of Java programs. Perfect, Lavisha. Right. Thank you. Yeah, guys, now let's focus on this point here, everybody. So here I have written C program. C engine is able to execute the program. So what we have to do there? The remaining part is what there? Just we have to send the program, whatever the program here we have written, that program here we have to be send it to C engine. If we send this program to the C engine, now C engine will execute that program, has to execute that program. After that, it has to generate some outputs. Here I'm going to provide like what there, some outputs here we are going to provide. It has to generate some outputs. Now this is about like what there, output here we are able to get. Yeah, guys, everybody understand it clearly? C program here we have given to the C engine. Now C engine has to execute that program and it has to generate some output. This is a general, natural, regular process what you are doing now. But now I have some questions, guys. Now here I'm getting some questions. Now try to answer for my questions now. Strictly I'm asking to you, who has written the C program, sir? Now tell me. Who has written the C program? Come on, guys. Who has written the C program? Come on. Who has written the C program? C programmer. Who has written the C program? C programmer. C programmer has written the C program. Right. Developer or programmer. Whoever it may be, C programmer has written this C program. All right. C programmer is a human being or not? C programmer is a human being or not? Yeah, definitely. C programmer is a human being. Okay, fine. How he wrote the program, how he able to write the program? That human being is able to write the program in his understandable language. C programmer is able to write the program in his understandable language. What is that C programmer understandable language? You know, the C programmer understandable language is what there high level program, high level representations in a high level syntaxes, maybe high level might be high level representation, may be able to write the program. So what is this high level programming language? No, high level representation, the C programming language is what their high level language. So in the high level see the category name is what their high level languages. It may be C or C plus plus or Java or Python, whatever it may be. All these are come under like what their high level language. The high level languages are what their developers friendly languages. High level languages are what they're developers friendly language. Say for example, I want to declare a variable into a is equal to 10. For example, I have given this is high level representation. Into a is equal to 10, this is what their high level representation. Everybody understand it clearly. Then developer can write int because of declaring a variable as an int equal operator 10, a constant value you want to keep inside this a variable. So there is a meaning, there is a clear cut meaning for this statement. No, the developer can understand easily. So that is the reason why this representation is what their high level representation. This representation is clearly what their high level representation. Now try to understand it clearly. Okay. Developers are able to write that C program. Developers are able to write C program in a high level language. Okay. Guys, now understand it clearly. Who is executing C program? Please comment in. Please write comment in questions box. No. Who is writing that C program? Sorry, who is executing C program? Who has executed C program, guys? Now, please immediately write the answer. No. Who is executing C program? Come on, waiting for a reply. Who is writing the C? Who is executing C program? Developers are able to write the C program, but who is executing C program? C engine. C engine is executing our C program. Please remember carefully. C engine is executing our program. Now tell me, is that C engine is a human being or any mission? C engine is a human being or mission? Now please confirm to me immediately. What is this C engine? Is it a human being or any mission? Come on, guys. What it is actually? It's a mission. It's a mission. It's a mission. It's not a human being. It's a mission. Nice. Very good. So if it is a mission, no, what language it is able to understand? What language it is able to understand? Please respond to me immediately in the questions box. No. What language? What language it is able to understand? Is it possible for the C engine to understand high level language directly? What language it is able to understand? It is able to understand mission language. It is able to understand what language here? Mission language. Understand it clearly. It is able to understand mission language. This mission language is also be called as like what there low level language. This mission language is also be called as like what there low level language, or we may call it as what there low level representations. They are also be called as what the low level representations. Now understand it clearly. So that mission language is able to provide everything in what there. Mission language is nothing but what there low level language, low level representation. What should be this low level representation? Oh, if you want to represent int a is equal to 10 in a low level representation, that should be like what there something else like this here we are able to have. Not observe carefully. It should be like what there zeros and ones here we have to understand. It should be like what there zeros and ones binary representation or zeros and ones representation. No, understand it clearly. Yeah, guys, everybody put more concentration here. Everybody understand it clearly. Developers are able to write C program in a high level language. Okay, but C engine has to execute that program. But unfortunately, C engine is able to understand what their low level language. C engine is able to understand mission language. Guys, now here we have to understand one point here. When we submit this high level program to the C engine, when we submit this high level program to the C engine, is it possible for C engine to understand and execute a high level program? Guys, immediately comment on it in the questions box now. Is it possible for C engine to understand and execute high level program directly? Is it possible for C engine to understand and execute high level program directly? Please immediately provide response for me. Is it possible for C engine to understand and execute high level program directly? Come on, guys, everybody has to give response for me. Is it possible? No, it is not at all possible. It is not possible for C engine to understand and execute high level program. Why? Because C engine is able to understand only low level language. C engine is able to understand only low level language representation, low level representation. C engine is able to understand only what there low level representation. So the point is what there, when we submit high level language, high level representation to the C engine, it is unable to execute our high level program. Why? Because it required the program in what there, low level language. So here program is not going to be executed. So here mismatch is available or not? Here mismatch is available or not? That language representation is a different or not? Is a mismatched syntax is mismatched representation is available or not? Right, exactly. In this scenario, we are unable to execute the program. But if you want to execute the program, then what we have to do now, what we record here. Now guys, observe carefully. But if you want to execute the program, here we have to search for some converters. Here we have to search for some converters, guys. Now what type of converters here we have to search there? Just I'm going to give some clarity. Now observe carefully. If you have the converter to translate the program, translator to translate the program from high level to low level, no. If it is possible to translate the program from high level to low level before executing our program, then easily we can run our program there directly. But how is it possible? You know, observe carefully. Here I am going to take some translator. Here I am going to take what there some translator. So what this translator is able to do now? This translator is able to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. Now observe carefully. So here we are going to take one translation mechanism, translation or translator, whatever it may be. Here we are going to take some translation mechanism. This translation mechanism will translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. The translated low level representation is available. The translated low level representation is available in the form of like what there .exe file. The translated program is going to be available in the form of like what the .exe file. Inside this .exe file here, what data here we are able to have there is a sequence of binary data, totally low level representation here we are able to get. Now understand it clearly. Now this is clearly what there low level representation here we are getting. Whenever we are getting this low level representation of the source program, then if we give this low level program to our C engine, then immediately C engine is able to understand the low level representation and C engine is able to execute our low level representation, and finally the C engine is able to generate some outputs as per our requirement. C engine is able to generate required outputs as per the requirement. So now observe carefully. Whenever we provided this C program, high level program to the translation mechanism, this translation mechanism is able to translate our C program from high level representation to low level representation. Now this is exactly like what their required low level representation. The same program in a low level representation here. Understand it clearly. The same program in low level representation. Here if we provide, whenever we are getting this low level representation, if we provide these low level representations to the C engine, now C engine can understand and execute this low level representation and it is able to provide the output. Guys, all of you understand this point clearly what I am telling now? So to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation, here we have used the word translation. Some translation here we have used or not, some translation mechanism we have used or not, right sir? Now this translation mechanism is also be called as compilation. The translation mechanism is also be called as what there compilation. The translation mechanism is also be called as what there compilation. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this point now. This translation mechanism is also be called as what there compilation. Guys, now straightly I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for it. What is the purpose of the compilation? Now tell me. You only tell me. What is the purpose of the compilation here? Now everybody answer for it. On the questions box, please respond to me. What is the purpose of the compilation? Come on. You have to give answer for this. What is the purpose of the compilation? Type in questions box. For what purpose you are using compilation? Come on, guys. Everybody has to respond for me. Everybody has to give response now. What is the purpose of the compilation here? Alright. Now I'm going to give the clarity. The purpose of the compilation is what there? To translate the program from high level representations to low level representations. to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. This is exactly the purpose of what there compilation, to convert a program from high level representation to the low level representation. That's it. Perfect. So this is exactly one responsibility of the compilation. That's okay. Still my compilation responsibilities are not completed. Still the content is not completed. Just I given one purpose of the compilation. That's okay. This is the main purpose of the compilation. Clear? Yeah, guys. Now I'm asking one more question to all of you to try to answer for it. Everybody, try to answer for my question here. Who has written the C program, sir? Now tell me. Who has written the C program? Now tell me. Come on. Who has written the C program? Who has written the C program? C developer. C developer has written the C program. That's nice. The C developer is whom? Who is that C developer actually? The C developer is a human being or not? The C developer is what there? Human being. Now understand it clearly. C developer is what there? He is a human being. Right, it's okay, fine. Now tell me, what is the fundamental right for human beings, sir? What is the fundamental right for human being? Now you only tell me. What is the fundamental right for human being? The fundamental right for human being is what there is a committing mistakes, doing mistakes, having mistakes. The committing mistakes is a minimum, is a fundamental basic right for human being, right? Okay, fine. Having mistakes is not a crime, sir. Now please remember it. Having mistakes is not a crime. Having mistakes is not a crime. But without checking whether we are having mistakes or not, without checking whether we are having mistakes or not, trying to execute the program is a crime. Without checking mistakes in our program, trying to execute the program is a crime. Having mistakes is not a crime, but without checking whether our program contains mistakes or not, errors or not, without checking that, trying to execute the program is a crime. So further purpose, what is the point here I'm telling now? Now observe carefully. Error checking must be done before execution. Before executing the program, error checking must be performed. So we have to check whether this program contains any error or not. Or we have to check developers' mistakes. We have to check for what their developers' mistakes. So this process, the way of checking, the process of checking errors in our program is nothing but what their error checking. The second one is what their error checking. This error checking is also be done by, error checking could be done by compilation process. Compilation process is going to check what their developers' mistakes, which are developers mistakes in our program. So compilation is responsible for what there, the second one, that is what there, error checking. Compilation process, is responsible for two things. One is what there, converting program from high level representation to low level representation, and the second one is what there, error checking. Error checking is the second responsibility, and translation process what there, first responsibility for what there, for compilation. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this point now? Please at least say yes or no. Say yes or no in the questions box. All of you are getting clarity on these points here. Say yes or no in the questions box. Come on, guys. Compilation. What is the purpose of the compilation here? I've given there clear cut information, clear cut analysis now. If you understand all these points, then only you're able to understand the Java effectively. So foundation must be very, very good. Then only we can understand it clearly. It's okay, fine. Two responsibilities for compilation. One is translating program from high level to low level, and second ones were there, error checking. Okay, guys, good. Keep this point in your mind separately. Now I'm going to ask one question to all of you guys. Now try to observe carefully. One question here I'm going to ask to all of you. Now try to answer for it now. Say for example, I have written this statement here. Into a is equal to 10, sir. Into a is equal to 10. Okay. And before this, one more point here I'm telling to you. The time when we perform compilation is called as what there? Compilation time. The time when we perform compilation is called as what there? Compilation time. The time when we perform execution, that is called as what there? Runtime, or we can call it as what there? Execution time. either runtime or we can call it as what their execution time. Okay. Now guys, now observe carefully. I declared a variable int a is equal to 10. Everybody please understand this, no? Int a is equal to 10. What's going on here? When I interpret this in a section int a is equal to 10, what's going on internally? What is going on internally? Now I'll give some clarity for you what is going on internally when we provide this. First, a variable will be created. A variable will be created. For this a variable, 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. 2 bytes of memory will be allocated for this a variable. In the 2 bytes of memory, the value 10 is going to be stored. In 2 bytes of memory, the value 10 is going to be stored. Okay. So 2 bytes of memory will be created. For this 2 bytes of memory, value is going to be stored. Now, of course, then compiler will convert this the total instruction to the binary code, like mission code. Mission code will be given to the execution. That's okay. But internally, memory allocation point of view, I'm discussing there. So when we provide int a is equal to 10, where memory will be allocated for a variable. So compiler will provide memory allocation. Okay. In some programming languages, compiler will allocate memory for the variables. But in some other programming languages, that memory allocation will be performed at a runtime, not at compilation time. Some programming languages are providing memory allocation at compilation time. Some other programming languages are providing memory allocation at what time? Runtime. Guys, are you understanding the point what I'm telling there? Some programming languages are providing or performing memory allocation for the data at compilation time. Some other programming languages are providing memory allocation for the data at a runtime. Right? Is my point is clear? Some programming languages are performing memory allocation for the data at compilation time. Some other programming languages are performing memory allocation for the data at runtime. Now observe carefully. If the memory allocation is provided for the data at a compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as static memory allocation. If the memory allocation is performed for the data at compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as what their static memory allocation. If the memory allocation is performed for the data at a runtime, then that memory allocation is called as like what there dynamic memory allocation. If the memory allocation is performed for the data at compilation time, then that memory allocation is called static memory allocation. If the memory allocation is performed for the data at runtime, then that memory allocation is called what there dynamic memory allocation. So here static memory allocation and the second one is what there dynamic memory allocation. Two types are available. Guys, observe carefully. Now I'm giving the conclusion. Now I'm giving conclusion. If any programming language is allowing, if any programming language is providing or is following static memory allocation, if any programming language is following static memory allocation, then that programming language is what there static programming language. If any programming language is following static memory allocation, then the programming language is what there static programming language. If any programming language is following static memory allocation, then that programming language is what there static programming language. That's nice. If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, if any programming language is allowing dynamic memory allocation, then that programming language is called as like what there dynamic programming language. If any programming language is following static memory allocation, then it is called static programming language. If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, then the programming language is what? Dynamic programming language. Examples for static programming languages are what there? C and C++. C and C++ are following what there? Static memory allocation. So they are static programming languages. Example for dynamic programming languages is what there? Java and what next one here? No, Python. Not only Java and Python, even .NET, everything. Majority of the programming languages are following dynamic memory allocation. So Java and Python are what their dynamic programming languages. Why? Because they are following what their dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation is performed is nothing but memory allocation at runtime. Static memory allocation is nothing but what their memory allocation at compilation time. Guys, all of you are getting clarity in this diagram here. What is static programming language and what is dynamic programming language? All of you are getting clarity on this point now. Come on, guys. Now, when we are able to say programming language is a static programming language, and when we are able to say one programming language is a dynamic programming language, all of you are getting clarity on this now. So, this diagram I'm going to provide in the document here so that you are able to understand it. Anytime if you open the document and if you check the document there we are able to see the content clearly. Alright, so now I'm going to give the definitions point of view. Now try to understand it clearly. This is a title here we provided. Now the point is what there. If any programming language is following the static memory allocation, then that programming language is called a static programming language. A static programming language. Now observe carefully. It's called what there, a static programming language. Right, sir. Note here, no type of point here I'm telling to you. Now observe carefully. If the memory allocation is provided compilation time, then that memory allocation is called the static memory allocation. If the memory allocation is provided compilation time, then that memory allocation is called as what there, static memory allocation. Similarly, what is dynamic programming language? If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, then that programming language is called dynamic programming language. It's called what, the dynamic programming language. Now here, before that, just I want to give some examples for static programming languages. C and C++ here are given. Similarly, examples for dynamic programming languages here I'm telling there, Java and Python, .NET and so on. So many things are available. But now what is this dynamic programming language? Alright, so what is dynamic memory allocation? Note I'm telling there, if the memory allocation is provided for the data at a runtime of the application is called a dynamic memory allocation. If any programming language is following this dynamic memory allocation, automatically this programming language is called as what, the dynamic programming language. That's it. Guys, now the first difference here we completed. What is that first difference here now? So C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there, a dynamic programming language. A clear-cut analysis, clear-cut information here are given. All of you are okay? All of you are getting clarity in this point? Please say yes or no in the questions box. Directly, continuously watching your messages. No, please give some responses there immediately. When I complete a particular topic, no, then I used to ask this question there. Are able to follow or not, like this? Immediately, if you give response, no, immediately I'll move on to the next content. Yeah, perfect. Yes, perfect response. Everybody has given that response. No, it's okay. Good. Right. Yes. Now observe carefully. Right, sir. Now, after completion of this particular topic here, so finally one confirmation we are getting what is static programming language and what is dynamic programming language, that here we are getting clarity. Okay, leave this one. The second difference here I'm going to provide there. Then what should be the second difference? No, preprocessor is required in a C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in a Java. Right, sir. Preprocessor is required in a C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in a Java. This is the point here we have to understand. Preprocessor is required in C, C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Guys, before going to understand preprocessor is required or not required in C, C++, Java, before understanding this point, first we have to understand what is preprocessor, what is preprocessor, what is its purpose, what is the preprocessor and what is its purpose, where we are going to use this preprocessor, all these points here we are going to understand. Once we understand this content now, after that we are going to analyze what is the need of the preprocessor in C and C++ and what is the need of why this preprocessor is not required in the case of Java. That here we are going to understand. Okay, now let me take one simple example here. Let me take one simple example here. Okay, now let me take one simple example. Now one diagram here I'm going to provide here. Now understand it clearly. Everybody put more concentration. One simple diagram I'm providing to you, all of you guys. Okay. Guys, now understand it clearly. For example, I'm going to write one C program. Again, I'm going to write one C program. So what should be the file extension here? If it is a C program, definitely here we have to provide that file extension is what there? Dot C. Dot C is a file extension that here we are able to provide. Okay, nice. When we provide this C program, then immediately what we have to perform, sir? Now tell me. The same diagram I have written in vertically. Now, after writing the C program, what process here we have to do? What is mandatory for us? Come on, everybody has to respond for me. What I have to do here after writing the C program? No response, guys. What I have to perform there? After writing the C program, I must perform something. What something here I have to perform there? Come on. What I have to perform there? Compilation. Compilation. You must be active, sir. You must be active. You have to give that information. You have to give answers immediately. Compilation. That's nice, guys. Now tell me, after the compilation of the C program, what file here I'm able to get now? Tell me, what is the file here I'm able to get now? You know already the purpose of the compilation to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. The translated low level representation is available in the form of a separate file. In what file that translated code is available here? In what file the translated code is available? Alright, sir. Now it should be like what there? .exe file. That file is like what there? .exe file. Nice. Now here we are getting .exe file. That's okay, fine. When we are getting this .exe file now, then what next one here? What we have to perform there? Whenever we are getting .exe file, what we are able to perform now? Tell me immediately. What we are able to perform there? Whenever we are getting this .exe file, what we are able to perform there? Now tell me. What we are able to perform? What we have to perform? Right, sir. Now definitely here we have to perform what there? Execution. Alright, sir. Then how is it possible to get output without execution? Definitely here what is required now? Execution is required. If we execute the C program, when we execute the C program, then only here we are able to get output. If we execute the C program, then only here we are able to get. At the end, what we are able to get now? Output here we are able to get. When we execute the C program, then only here we are able to get what there? Output. Now all of you understand it clearly. Output here we are getting it. It's okay, nice, good. Right, sir. That's okay, fine, nice. So when we write C program, we have to compile the C program. When we perform compilation, we are able to get .exe file. And if we provide the .exe file to the execution, then we are able to get output. This is a process. This is a regular process here, what we are doing. Okay, good. Now I have a question, guys. Now try to answer for it. Who is performing this compilation, sir? Everybody respond for me. Who is responsible for performing compilation? Who is performing compilation? In the previous diagram, I have not asked this question there. What is the purpose of the compilation? I have asked there in the previous question, in the previous diagram. Now my question is what there? Who is performing compilation? Of course, user is performing compilation, no doubt for that. But with the help of what? The user is performing compilation. User will use what to perform compilation? Divya. User is performing compilation, but by using what? C engine is for the sake of executing our program. C engine is for the sake of executing our program. Yeah, what tool? That's the point I'm asking there. What tool? What tool we are going to use to perform compilation? There people are saying that compiler. Compiler is responsible for performing compilation. Compiler, people are saying that compiler. Perfect, perfect guys, all of you are giving right answers. That's nice. Now observe carefully, observe carefully. I'm giving some point note to you guys. Remember, everybody has to remember one point. Compilation would be performed by compilation would be performed by compilation would be performed by four missions. It's not like by single mission. Compilation is performed by four missions. It's not like what that single mission. Please remember, all of you, compilation is performed by four missions. It's not by single mission. What are the four missions which are performing compilation? Compilation includes, compilation has internally four missions work. Four missions are working together to complete this compilation. What are the four missions? Here we are going to understand. The very first one, the very first mission is what there? Preprocessor. The very first one is what there? Preprocessor. And the second one is what there? Compiler. And the second one is what there? Compiler. Next one is what there? Compiler. Next one is what there? Assembler. Assembler. Next one is what there? Assembler. Then after this, the next one is what there? Loader, link editor. Loader, link editor. These four missions are working together to complete the compilation process. These four missions are working together to complete the compilation process, to perform the compilation process. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this point now? Then who are performing this compilation? It's not like single mission work. It's like what there? Four missions integrated work. Four missions internal work. Four missions integrated work. The result is what there? Compilation. So first pre-processing is going to be completed. After that compiler work will be completed. After that assembler work will be completed. After completion of this, link loader, link editor work will be completed. Okay, right sir. Then only we are able to perform what the compilation. Please guys, all of you understand this point clearly? Understand this point clearly? So once again, I'm telling to all of you, now observe carefully. What is the purpose of the preprocessor? Today we are going to understand. Now we are going to understand what is the purpose of the preprocessor. But today we don't require the information what compiler does, what assembler is doing, what loader or link editor is doing. That all this information is not required immediately. Just now we record only what is preprocessor and what is its work here, that we are going to understand. But what I am telling there, anyway, I prepared this diagram like this. So compiler internal structure I required in the future. In future, I require compiler internal structure. Because of that reason, I want to provide this compiler internal structure also. I don't require it immediately, but in the future, I require that. So compiler internal structure here I want to provide. Now try to understand this compiler internal structure. Now observe carefully. If you understand this compiler internal structure, the first one is what there? Lexical analysis. The first phase in the compilation, in the compiler, the first phase is lexical analysis. Next one is what there? Syntax analysis. The next one is what there? Semantic analysis. Next one is what there? Intermediate code generation. The next one is what there? Code optimization. Code optimization. The next one is what there? Code generation. These are all 6 phases are available inside the compilation. Sorry, inside the compiler. Nearly 6 phases are available inside the compiler. Lexical analysis phase, syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and what next one here? Code generation. These 6 phases are available, that here we have to understand. Okay. Right, sir. So just I'm telling there, in the future I may think about all these pages. So that's the reason why I give it in the structure actually. Immediately I don't record all these points. Just I record only one point here in this scenario. What's the point here? Immediately I record here. The point is what there? What is the location of the preprocessor? In this overall structure, what is the location of the preprocessor? That point here I record. Because of that reason only I given this total diagram. Because of this particular reason only I given the complete diagram. So what is preprocessor? Where is the location of the preprocessor? Where we can identify, where we can find the preprocessor in the programming languages? That point here I have given clarity now. Right, sir. Now all of you observe carefully. Here the first point here I'm telling you what is preprocessor actually. Right, sir. Now preprocessor exists in the compilation. Preprocessor is the first phase. Is the first phase that exists in the compilation process. That exists in the compilation process. Clear? Right, sir. This is the location of the preprocessor, and this is exactly the location of the preprocessor. Preprocessor is the first phase that exists in the compilation process. Yeah, guys, one small information to all of you. So if I start the remaining part of the explanation, it may take nearly 20 to 25 minutes of time here to complete this. 15 to 20 minutes of time minimum it will take. No, if I start the remaining explanation here. So what is the job of the preprocessor? If I take no, it will take nearly 15 minutes of time minimum here. So anyway, the time is not available. No, time is not sufficient here. Today I want to stop this here. Here itself I want to stop this. No, why? Because at 7 o'clock I need to start another session here. So I want to stop this here. Then tomorrow I will continue the remaining part here. Tomorrow I'm going to complete it. Tomorrow I'm going to complete the remaining parts. Okay. Right. Meanwhile, now I'm telling to all of you guys, if any of your new members know, now take this link for classroom notes. Today also, whatever the classroom, whatever the notes I prepared here, now the notes is available here with this particular link. And take this number for the sake of admission process. My people are asking to me regarding this admission and payments and all these things. No, that is not myself is not responsible person. Directly you can talk with him. Hemant is the right person. Now directly this is a contact number. Is a single point of contact for my class. Now anything about my classes, if you want to understand, just directly you can talk with him. So take screenshot of it. Now try to use these resources, guys. Today I want to stop this class here, and tomorrow I'm going to continue from this point here. Okay. Now try to take this number and directly you can call him. Then he able to give response about my classes completely. There is a single point of contact. Directly we can talk with him. Okay, guys. Now just today I want to stop this, and tomorrow I'll continue this part. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Nitish, directly you can talk with Hemant. He will provide recordings. Yeah, Hemant will provide the recordings, access, and everything. Yeah, thanks a lot.